Hi everybody, Laura here from My Favorite Things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a festive holiday project to share with you using some of the latest products from the October release. I'm going to start with the Nativity Silhouette Die-namics die set, and this allows you to create a little nativity scene with these little silhouette dies. I'm not going to use all of the dies in the set. I'm just going to use a few that fit within my composition. So I've got Joseph and Mary. Got the little manger with baby Jesus in it. A few little animals on the side. I'm not sure if they're donkeys or lambs or sheep. I'm just going to go with it. And then, of course, we have the little star that hangs above the whole scene. Now, you could frame all of this within the manger, and that would look really, really cute. But I want to try to give it a graphic twist. So I'm going to use circular dies to kind of frame and draw the eye in towards the nativity scene. I'm going to cut all of my nativity pieces out of white cardstock, and I like to pop them out with a retractable needle tool. Got to be real careful with some of the intricate pieces like Joseph's staff. Very dainty. Okay, so I have a piece of very light blue cardstock, and my silhouette pieces are white. And I'm going to use 3 more shades of blue cardstock. So I rummaged through my solid color cardstock and I managed to find 4 shades of blue. So with the smallest circle that just fits around the nativity scene, I kind of eyeball on this darker shade of blue cardstock. And that'll kind of create a window frame. Now with a larger circle die, I'm die cutting another shade of blue, a shade darker. And I'm kind of arranging the circle so it goes up towards the left top corner of the card. A little bit of motion to draw the eye in. That's where the graphic twist comes from. Now the last panel is out of navy, and that's all there is. I'm going to pop these up. And then before I do that, I'm freehand just trimming a little wavy hill with my craft knife. You don't want to overthink it. Just a simple little wavy hill for your nativity to kind of rest on. And then I'll take that off camera, trim off the excess, and start popping up the circular panels. I put foam tape on the back of each one of them because dimension is life. I got to tell you a funny story. When I think of the nativity, I always think of this over 20 years ago when we were living in Germany. My husband was playing hockey there. We had our first son, Boaz. He was just a baby, and we wanted to kind of wrangle the whole hockey team. They had a lot of little kids and do a nativity play for Christmas. And a lot of the parents had never really been a part of anything like that. But it was so fun to get the little kids together. Now, Boaz, who was the baby, he played baby Jesus, obviously. And then we had some, little girls playing Mary and the angels and the boys. Now, one of the boys was supposed to be one of the wise men, but he refused to put on his proper costume. He wore a Batman costume. And another little boy who was supposed to be a shepherd, the dad forgot to bring his hockey stick for the shepherd staff. So he yanked off a tree branch right out in the church parking lot to use for the shepherd staff. So it was a hot mess of a gong show for the nativity play, but it was so memorable. We have some pictures. Wish I could dig them out to show you, but if you've ever been a part of a kid's Christmas nativity play, let me tell you, it's something you will never forget. It's actually really precious. It kind of makes you tear up. But I always think of that when I look at the nativity. Now, for a sentiment, this was a complete afterthought. I found this sentiment that says, "Have a blessed Christmas." I thought it fit perfectly with the scene. It's from the iconic Christmas stamp set. But the perfect place to put it was right under the nativity. I do not recommend embossing your sentiment after everything's been popped up on your card base. But sometimes you just got to do what the heart wants, and you just hope and pray that the whole thing doesn't warp like the Dickens. So I inked it up with Versamark ink. I poured on some white embossing powder. I got my heat gun blazing hot so it could be as quick as it could, and I got to tell you, it worked out just fine. Although I would not recommend doing this again. But if you're anything like me, my sentiment is always an afterthought. I wish I was organized, but I'm just not. And I added a few little sparkling clear sequins for a little nativity bling, and this card is finished. I love how it's got the Christmas message on there, but it also has a bit of graphic movement to it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.